Welcome back, and this is still Crossfire. Now, Comrade, I need you to please address the issues raised by the last caller on the issue of, Mr. President not, limiting the tackle against corruption just to the last administration. Do you think that is right? I mean, doesn't he have the prerogative to, go as far as he wants to, or?
And the fact that he's persecuting or the investigations on officials of the past administration, does this necessarily amount to a witch hunt?
No. Yeah, we're in Nigeria. Let us even address the issue straight. Mr. John, you cannot, during Babangida era, we heard about oil windfall.
Yes.
That was never traced. And, so if you want to go back to past administration, what it means is that the government will do investigation all through, even 80 years. Even 4 or 80 years, whatever.
The term is 4 years.
Yes, we won't get anywhere. So we need to start somewhere. And people are saying that they are being witch hunted. That even Sule Lamido said, everything is about 2019 election. You can Nigeria, and some people were paid to go and demonstrate for the removal of Lamode. I learned that some of these people being investigated actually paid them.
The PDP National Publicity Secretary, Chief Olusemetu, actually described the situation as he said PDP members have been haunted like prisoners of war. That this is they're using, we're back to dictatorial times.
You see, they are all corrupt. There is no way Olusemetu is trying to save his own head too. Because I'm very sure there is no way all this money will be traced, that some will not be traced to their accounts.
But mind you, look, for me, the streamline of corruption is so deep and endemic. Now, let us just quickly look at the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation, and Fiscal Commission. Now, Section 32, Part 1 of the 3rd Schedule of the 1999 Constitution that empowers them. Under one of the functions of this commission, one is to monitor the accruals into and disbursement of revenue from the Federation account. Now, look at the story of the NNPC and all of that. You did not remit monies, but it was this commission's duty to monitor that. Now, they slept on their duty. So you say that, for me, I think this fight against corruption, I completely support it. And I'm also enjoining Nigerians to stand sturdily behind this administration. But look at the long chain. Look at the long line. Do you think this administration can go so deep to eradicating this corruption? Because at the end of the day, you're going to be picking a lot of loopholes, a lot of individuals, heads of these agencies, some of these agencies that have not been doing their duties.
Exactly.
Is that possible? Is that feasible?
Account wasn't audited for a number of years. That is my
wrong.
You see, Nigerians are wonderful people. We know how to comply with rules and regulation in the breach. In fact, we are very good in that. If you make a law today, in fact, Nigerians will sit down, perfect ways of subverting that law. You see, we have problem. You said that, the problem of corruption is endemic. And I told you earlier that even the corruption has become a culture, So it's a thing that maybe we just have to concentrate and focus on something, start with some people. Then, like, I think Mr. President has identified about $150 billion that is interested in, recovering. So if we recover that now, then we now set templates, in terms of budget monitoring and project implementation.
Sorry to cut you short.
Okay.
We have a call from Port Harcourt, Ife for Port Harcourt.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Hello.
Yeah, Ishioma, good morning.
Good morning, ma. Welcome to Crossfire.
Good morning. You said that for this morning.
Well,
and good morning, I invited guests.
And
They are all
Gbenga.
looking beautiful. We're talking about corruption in Nigeria. When I look at our Nigerian state, the Nigerian state is a skewed state. It's founded on corruption.
Can you please speak up so we
I
can
think the
hear you
Nigerian
properly?
state is founded on corruption.
Okay.
It's skewed. I mean, even if you look at the way the local governments are distributed, are you hearing me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
We can.
Okay, the distribution of local government states. So you find that everything about Nigeria, for now, is corruption. We need true federalism. Our mentality is sharing mentality.
Yeah.
We are not productive. So when we share this money, the federal, those workers there, everybody wants to steal. So, so our psyche is not hard work anymore. It's just stealing. Steal the money that comes to you. For me, I think we should go back to, the Constitution is formed. We should have true federalism,
Yes.
have community entrepreneurship, where we organize our communities into whatever, whether it's cooperative, and we begin to harness the resources we have for our people to work. When we begin to do that, we find that we don't have their labor. If we don't have the people tossing guns everywhere, people become productive.
Yes.
And the so-called chiefs, the political allies we have now, we know that, you don't just pick the money. There's now that we have petroleum and gas supporting the entire nation. I was listening to the Zamfara governor when they were asking him about harnessing gold in his place and stopping the young men and women who go to dig the gold. He said, no, you can't stop them. They have to continue because if you stop them, how will they survive? But that is a national resource. When they start having lead poisoning, we rush there to go and help them come up with lead poisoning. So you find that there is something wrong with Nigeria. It's a skewed state.
But do you support Mr. President's fight against corruption, even though so far it seems...
I support the fight, but it has to go right from 1999, Babangida's administration. But even his own administration has to be proved. His own administration, when he came in 1983, I believe in getting all of them. It is not difficult. Yes, it will be time-taking, but we have to go back. When we begin to do that, because today we have people we see as the leaders, people like Babangida, first people shouldn't be talking.
Okay, thank you so much for your opinions and comments. But you know what I strongly believe? I strongly believe that because if you look at some of these individuals we have currently in governance, these are people who have been in politics even before I was born. So if you know, tackling the corruption from the past administration, you can also still link it to some of these old individuals. That's what I think. Well, Shegun is calling us, please, from Ibadan. Good morning, Mr. Shegun.
Good morning.
Welcome to CROSSFIRE.
Thank you very much. I want to contribute to the discussion on fighting corruption in Nigeria.
Okay.
You see, the issue of corruption is a systemic error. What do I mean by systemic error? We are a people that don't know who we actually are. When we hear of democracy in America, we follow it. We hear of this in another place, we follow it. Why don't we sit down and discover and look at our own cultural system and look at a system that suits us as people? Democracy suits a people that are honest, people that are open, and people that are committed to their countries.
So Nigerians are not committed? Is that what you're saying?
See, 80% of Nigerians are corrupt.
Okay.
Is that commitment? Now,
I would say that's a generalization.
Which is we do not completely agree.
See, of course, that's possible. But you will see that the same set of people that are making the laws to protect themselves are the ones stealing from us. So if we have a system where power actually resides with the people, we don't want a situation where resources flow from the top down. We want a situation where resources flow from the communities to the federal.
Okay.
Now, fighting corruption...
Please, can you round up on your points, please?
Okay. Fighting corruption, we can go as far back as we want to.
Okay.
But the issue is, if the right things are not put in proper shape in the system, no matter how far back we go, some other people will come and devise another means to be stealing.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Mr.
you very
Shegun.
much.
God bless you. Thank you for your opinions.
I absolutely agree. I don't agree with the point that he said 80% of Nigerians are corrupt, because that's a generalization. There's no, I mean, all human beings have the qualities of doing good and bad. What we've lacked in the past is quality leadership and direction. And I think this present administration in their first 45 days have shown, the body language of the administration shows they're ready to work. And if you directly contrast, even from the first 45 days, what happened in the last administration, you'll see that it's almost a black and white situation. NLNG receipts. I mean, that was the money that was used to bail out the states. I mean, Nigerians just woke up one day and didn't know that money was accrued to the federal government from this, that we were getting dividends from this. There's been accusations by the Edo State governor, Mr. Oshiomhole, about money being misappropriated or spent without due process by the last administration. The CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, said Nigeria's foreign reserve rose to about 31.89 billion. They were asking that what magic did Buhari do in 1 month.
On a short period of time.
3 days ago, the chief of naval staff, where he was handing over to the new CNS, he did say that in 1 month, crude oil theft has reduced from upwards of 1.2 million barrels to 300,000 barrels a day. So, I mean, this is an indictment on the past administration. Why we're recovering all those monies, but people are not being punished. They're not sending the right signals that you do not have a right to put your hands in the public till and steal the people's commonwealth. Mr. Ajayi, are we going to see punitive measures?
Okay, please, before you answer that, let's take this call. Hamza, good morning.
Yeah, morning.
Sorry for holding on. Welcome to Crossfire.
Yeah.
Okay.
On this issue of, good morning all, on this issue of corruption we are discussing, I think we need to address the fundamental problem, you know. We've made politics to be too attractive in Nigeria, for example. For instance, the last constitutional conference we had, or the conference, the last one with Goodluck Jonathan, I was expecting the congregants to maybe propose a kind of, maybe for a politician, for you even to contest. Your kids must attend the public schools. You have to go to a public hospital, no more going abroad and what have you. You know, let's make the political office look less attractive. I think if we can have an arrangement like that, okay, maybe making the legislature to be a unicameral, we don't need all this legislation. In the real sense, even we don't even need democracy. It's cosmetic. You know, having one legislature, making it part-time, do you get me? So all these are the things, we are just trying to copy some things that are kind of do not suit us. In Nigeria, we don't need all these House of Assembly, National Assembly, Senate, and what have you. I don't know how the performance or the activities of Senate translate
judging by the amount of resources that consume.
And also, we keep on talking about conference through federalism. I don't know all that. Since some of we here Nigerians are psychophants, the Constitution of America is just on a pamphlet. You don't have a big cumbersome kind of thing like ours, but the country is run perfectly. So we just sit down abusing ourselves, always thinking from an ethnic prisms and what have you. We don't think of real issues. We claim to go to school or be educated, but we don't act like, you know, those that are educated. A lot of people will claim they have some baggage of degrees and what have you, but when they talk, you will be hearing them, you know, taking. There is no, even this federalism we are talking about, there is no two countries in the world that are practicing same kind of federalism. You look at your own peculiarity and practice it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your opinion.
We cannot...
in 1 second, because we need to go...
Okay, there cannot be a punitive measure now because of the present constitution or that we have. So the constitution...
Because of the immunity clause, I guess.
No, not the immunity clause. But even the constitution itself
needs to be amended before we can
amended, yes.
On that note, then let's go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll wrap it up. Just stay tuned. Welcome back, and this is still CROSSFIRE. Now, you were trying to make a point on punitive measures.
Yes. You see, the existing laws does not contain punitive measures.
The laws that establish the EFCC.
Not the establishment now. The laws that establishes EFCC, ICPC, are strong.
Yes.
And their mandate. Their mandate are very clear.
Exactly.
But EFCC is not the court. I didn't understand.
So our
justice. Yes, now EFCC is not the court. EFCC is to take them to court. So our justice system, that is the problem. That's what I'm talking about. That even our justice system is not good enough.
Because if you recall the Iberi case, I mean, you saw how it played out in Nigeria. And then when it got to
so that's exactly what we are saying.
But people would say that was in the past. We're in a different Nigeria today. The same EFCC that had about 1.2 million naira in their accounts as at December 2014. The ones that currently have 3 governors under investigation, they're summoning VIPs and very big top politicians that people thought were untouchable. So I believe it's the policy drive, it's the administration's outlook and the willingness to fight corruption.
But before we wrap up on the show today, because our time is fast spent, let us look at how the government can actually cut waste in governance.
Waste in governance.
Because there have been so many beautiful proposals. I'm slashing down my salary, I am doing this. But the truth is, that is unconstitutional.
And it's cosmetic.
Largely. It's cosmetic. It's not strong enough. Because if you look at the revenue mobilization, they have the power to fix the salaries of the governors and the president. I expect that Mr. President ordinarily should have channeled that cause through the Mobilization Commission.
No. In fact,
not just coming out to declare.
The Mobilization the Commission are even the problem.
And beyond the salaries, what other means can
Yes, of course. In fact, even the cost. In fact, to me, too, I sincerely believe that it's not enough to cost basic salaries.
Okay.
What about the allowances?
Okay.
Their travel allowances, and even the cost of running these bogus government houses. The
bureaucracy.
The bureaucracies. In fact, we have the bureaucracy is just too large. And that is why, somebody was talking about true federalism the other time. And in fact, even the founding father of Nigeria did not make mistake by adopting parliamentary system. Parliamentary system is
unitary one.
No, the parliamentary system, everybody, even the prime minister is a parliamentarian. He's a member of the parliament. The commissioners or ministers are chosen from within the parliament. And you have, in fact...
So that makes it more accountable.
More accountable. That we don't need all these MSAs, ministers and whatever. You pick from among them. Then, somebody, one of the callers, actually said, but he was confused. You see, American constitution is not the same thing as the kind of federal or constitution we run in Nigeria. We run a unitary system, where everything is
under the guise of
federalism. In fact, it is even in the United States, states pay certain amounts, to the center.
Yeah.
So just like it was in the First Republic. So, in fact, the kind of system we are running encourages corruption. Where you take, I said the other time, you take too much money and power to an individual, and they see themselves as gods, and they misbehave. So our current
office is too attractive. Yes.
No, in fact, very attractive, but at the same time very expensive. Because the process.
Just before we wrap up, where we find ourselves in dire straits. Just last week, the P5+1 met. Iran is now back. They're going to remove sanctions from Iran, and that means we're going to lose money. Where over 80% of our foreign revenue depends on the sale of crude oil. There's been a more than 50% drop in the price in the last 24 months. What do we do to shore up accounts? How do we make amends for this? And the bailout, a lot of people said it's a stopgap measure. We might find governors back in the same situation that couldn't pay salaries.
Low IGR and all that.
You see, we have a serious problem.
In less than a minute.
In less than a minute. We have to refocus our economy.
Okay.
agriculture is there. I don't know what we do with these huge resources. Sardauna of Sokoto, that is Amadou Bello and Awolowo and the rest of them, there was no oil there.
The First Republic.
In the First Republic. And they were able to establish the first television, stadium, free education, and all of this. So what it means is that we have to refocus our economy from just oil. You know about it is easy. People just take, Nigeria is just taking commission. We don't do anything. We don't contribute to anything to how the oil itself is drilled or sold. So we just take commission. In fact, even Nigeria cannot say this is a specific barrel of crude we produce every day and whatever.
That's how much I think we can take. I would have loved to address that issue, but then that's how much we can take on the show today. Thank you so much for being a part of CROSSFIRE today. And tomorrow we have bumper package for which we believe you will be so interested in. So just stay tuned and join us tomorrow. God bless you. Your last words?
So, did you like what you just saw? I know you did. It's very simple. If you want to see more, just subscribe to our channel right now.